hang on. I started the recording already because I can edit that. So I'm going to put it on the fitness room. Hey, everyone.
Hello.
All right. Hang on one second. We're coming to you live. Give us the old thumbs up or, say something.
Thanks for joining us. What are you putting?
I'm just saying staying fit despite joint issues.
Oh, despite pain, Kurt.
I already got it. I'll have to change it. Welcome. How are you doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
Good.
I'm doing good. 2019 is an exciting year. Mainly because I'm looking at it, I'm going, okay, it's 2019, but guess what next year is?
2020.
2020. I'm excited. I don't know. 2020 does sound like a good year for me.
Isn't that when they said the Back to the Future movie was 2020? All the futuristic things? Was it 2020?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I can't remember. I think actually, no. I think McFly, that's already over. All right. Well, hey, everybody that's listening to this tonight, we're going to talk about joint pain and kind of working through it into the new year, staying fit despite the fact that you might be suffering from some pain.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people suffer from pain, Kurt, and definitely would be probably a major barrier to exercising. And I know that yeah.
It really is. I'm working on some marketing, and in my marketing, I'm talking about a lot about stem cells. One of the things that I was reading on stem cells, they'll regenerate, they'll replace your joints. Mm-hmm. But what happens is, as we get older, when we get to be 56 years old, like where I'm at, I've got one stem cell for every, 500,000 cells.
Wow.
Where when I was 20, I had one stem cell for every 10,000 cells.
So it was a lot easier when you're younger, so you need more effort when you're older.
Yeah, and those stem cells, they stay right close to the joint. They're in the close to the bloodstream, so they can be mobilized. So you have stem cells in your elbow, in your shoulder, in your neck, in your jaw. They're right there. When we get older, there's fewer stem cells here, and there's fewer stem cells here, and there's fewer stem cells down there. So when you have some kind of major breakdown, all the stem cells from here go somewhere else. All the stem cells from here go somewhere else. All the stems, they're gone.
Wow. And I know I'm going off topic here just for a moment, but I think it's relevant considering you just brought that up. So the AGE pill, like if we're talking about exercising and trying to get through those barriers and kind of relieve that pain, how do you see that the AGE pill can help with pain relief and helping to facilitate someone to get to that point where they're starting to exercise or do more exercise?
Right. So the AGE pill, one of the things that we're learning on the AGE pill is it helps to stimulate your body to pull the stem cells out of senescence. And for people to think about, just think of senescence as really being hibernation. So right. It wakes the bear up out of hibernation. It says, get back out there. Tells the stem cell, get back out there, get to work. And a lot of the inactivity of stem cells is created by something we call glycation, and this byproduct called lipofuscin. And what the AGE pill does, it supports your body's natural ability to reduce the glycation, reduce the lipofuscin. But the other thing that Tom has designed into the AGE pill is he's designed it so that it will help your body make more NAD. And NAD is energy. And one of the things that I know as a physician, and I'm sure you've read it too, is the mitochondria are the most easily damaged parts of the body from stress. As we take the AGE pill, it helps correct that, and it gives the mitochondria, which are the energy producing part of the cells, it gives them the energy so that they have the energy to rebuild.
Yeah, and I would think, Kurt, it would be a great idea for somebody who's watching this live or the recording. If you're thinking about ways to increase your exercise or overcome those barriers to pain, definitely the AGE pill would be a serious consideration, because it certainly can facilitate and assist you to reach those goals. And I know for myself, I've heard lots of people who have been taking it, friends been taking it. Gosh, even my dog, Kurt, look at her, 15. My mum can't keep up with her at the park. So obviously, and she suffers pain because she's got some arthritis given her age. So yeah, I think it's just a great supplement for really everyone, particularly even when thinking about trying to increase exercise. So I know I've gone a little bit off topic. Well, it's still on topic. I don't think
you've gone off topic at all. I really wanted to talk about that when you said that we were going to talk about that tonight. The other thing that of the products, since we're talking about products, Fucoidan.
Right.
With all of the stem cell patients I'm working with right now, I started recommending Fucoidan before we do the stem cell injection, after I read a study that was printed in April of 2018, last year, April. They had a study that came out, and it said that the extract from brown seaweed helps to mobilize the stem cells. And what that means for all of you that are listening is it will actually take and it'll direct the stem cells to go where they're supposed to go. So if I've got a bad shoulder, it's going to direct the stem cells to go to my shoulder.
Wow.
And so they found that Fucoidan does that. And isn't that amazing? They found that like societies, like you go over to Japan where they've been consuming lots of seaweed for thousands of years. They found that they have extraordinarily long lives over in Okinawa.
Yeah, and definitely long-lived.
They say that part of that is because of the brown seaweed in their diet.
Yes. And I also heard the cognac root too, which we've talked about in previous webinars, the fiber, and it's got other great nutritional components in there that facilitate longevity.
Mm-hmm. Good idea. And Eternity, of course, I mean, because of the resveratrol. The resveratrol, it works to repair the damaged DNA, and it turns on the SIRT1 gene. So those are all some good pointers and that. Katie, you have a video that you wanted to play, right?
Yes. Hi, Renee. How are you? We just got a little note from her. Yes, I'm going to share a video, so just bear with me. This is from a government website, and it's talking about how to manage pain and using exercise to do that.
A government website?
Yeah.
Well, exercise definitely helps that downward spiral, because you sort of think, oh, I can't do all these things. Whereas going for walks, it's a simple thing. You can go fast or slow, but whenever you come back, you just feel so good, and so it puts you in such a much better frame of mind.
People think of strength or fitness, that capacity to get our breathing and normalising how we're moving and helping us to relax and just tune into the important other benefits that often people experience out of exercise can be really powerful.
At first it was really hard to accept that with movement I'd have pain, but without movement I'd have even more pain. And I had to push through that, and I had to stop doing things like I'd been taught to, for instance, when I unloaded the dishwasher, to suck up my pelvic floor, to brace myself, to bend slowly, and to sort of reach into the dishwasher and pull out the dish. I had to retrain my brain that you bend forward, relax, take a deep breath, relax, bend forward, pick up the plate and put it on the counter. It's very hard to make that mental leap because you've got all these inbuilt protections, and I was protecting myself. The pain was going up, my anxiety was going up, my worrying was going up, I was protecting myself more, moving less, pain was going up.
As a GP, I always emphasize every time how important exercise is. Movement is the enemy of pain. I also ask patients to look into how they can move more at work. Can they use a sit-stand desk? Can they get up on the hour, once an hour, walk across the office, get themselves a cup of water, walk back again? Can they do their stretching exercises? When they're seated at a computer, can they move their core muscles? Can they strengthen their core muscles? Can they adopt their posture regularly, adopt postural change regularly to ease their pain and prevent the pain coming on in the first place? And to basically exercise throughout the day.
Obviously when I'm stressed, my body tenses up, my pain level goes up. So by staying fit, staying active. You know, I'm happy. You know, like, yeah, exercise is very good for managing your mood. It's a form of stress relief.
If you have other pains or other issues that are likely to be barriers, or you feel are barriers to you exercising, the secret is really trying to work out ways around that, because there's lots of different modes of exercise. So exercise alone is really important, but it's not one type of exercise. There's pool or water-based exercise which can be helpful, there's walking, there's cycling, there's gym-based exercise, there's a heap of other options as well, like yoga for example. So people will be better matched to different types of exercise.
The exercise I do every day, I do, as well as the stretches, I do weights. I'm back doing weights again. Not so much, I won't do it as much as I did before. And I go to boxing on the weekends as well. Like the neurosurgeon said, I would never run again. You know, I'm doing everything. I'm getting punched in the head every Saturday. You know, it's good, and it's good.
Not all exercise needs to be expensive or involved a structured program. It can be really simple, and if you're struggling, having a simple win like taking your dog out for a walk or going for a walk with a family member, something really basic and easy that fits around what you're coping with at the time, can be a great start. And of course from there you want to build up as is appropriate for your problem.
Goals to get better are really good. They set like little benchmarks to sort of push towards. I found if I didn't have a goal, I wouldn't be motivated to do anything. And that was the same with freediving, the gym, or just getting better generally, like around the house doing stretches. Because if I didn't have the goals, I wouldn't have got off my ass off the chair. I'd have been stuck there doing nothing. And that's where people fall into a deeper depression.
The movement part is really to kind of desensitize the system, relax your body and get the capacity to move, and then taking someone from that back into the things that they love. That's the journey that we would tend to take someone on. There's good evidence that physical activity is really helpful with sleep. It's helpful with relaxation. It's helpful with your mental health, your ability to concentrate. They call it the poly pill because it's got great effects across all systems. It makes you feel good, but it doesn't have bad side effects. You just got to make sure you set it gradually and build it up.
What do you think of that?
You know, the only thing that I would say, Katie, on that is that one of the things that so many physical therapists and so many doctors don't understand is they kind of tend to follow that same saying that we hear football players and professional athletes say, no pain, no gain.
Yeah.
And
they didn't say that in there though, did they? I didn't hear them say that.
No, they didn't say that, but I think that a lot of people watching, they've heard that and they think that. They think no pain, no gain.
It's a good point.
Really, when you're rehabbing a joint, this is what I always taught my patients was no pain or no pain for maximum gain. And so what you want to try and do is set in no pain, no gain. You want to say no pain for maximum gain. So if I'm lifting my arm up here and it starts to hurt, don't go any further.
No, that's right.
Work to here and just keep working it to there. And eventually you'll work through that. The important thing to understand, if my right shoulder hurts, I can work my left shoulder and my left shoulder is going to help heal up my right shoulder. There's a carryover in your nervous system that carries over to the bad shoulder as well.
Okay, but what about, Kurt, if you're in pain all the time? And so that when you actually start exercising, you can't really tell, it doesn't seem to be making it worse. But obviously it may not feel better because you're actually in pain all the time. That's still a sign, and that's my understanding from my personal experience, is you still should continue exercising, because if you don't do, it depends what type of pain we're talking about though.
If you have pain all the time, I would probably say, I mean, if you have pain everywhere all the time, right? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, like say if you've got a muscle or a tendon that's hurting and it's hurting all the time. There's a point at which, obviously, if it's an acute injury, you're going to need to ice it and rest it. But once it's moved past that point and it's become chronic in that it's there all the time, you need to address it by doing some movement. the movement shouldn't actually make the pain worse, but at the point of the first point may not actually make it better. And initially you may actually get a little bit more pain. But the thing is, if you use it or lose it, like you got to get it moving again. You must
again,
know about that.
if we're using the shoulder as an example, if I'm lifting to here and I go beyond that point, it makes it worse. You don't want to go beyond that point.
No, but what about if it hurts just to lift it up like that?
If it hurts to lift it up like that, then you really should look at what can you do to get rid of that inflammation.
Right.
And that goes back to what we were talking about before you played the video, which is the H-Pill, Fucoidan, Renovator, the Super Omega Plus, all those things to get rid of the inflammation. Because if it's joint related, if you don't get rid of the inflammation, you're not gonna rehab that joint. You're not gonna rebuild it, because the stem cells and the growth factors are gonna work on the inflammation before they start actually working on rebuilding the joint. So I might actually, and I've asked a lot of my patients this, if this shoulder hurts all the time and it doesn't go away, nothing makes it better.
Yeah.
My next question to you would be, do you have any digestive problems?
Really?
Well, if your digestive system is inflamed,
pain increases.
Well, it's going to cause, if your digestive system isn't inflamed, it's going to cause inflammation everywhere in your body.
This is true. Actually, I can recall a specific moment when that happened, having actual indigestion or stomach pain, and the pain that I had elsewhere in my body, which was tendon related to, a ligament, it actually increased. It was more painful. And so I think, yeah, definitely like making sure your digestion's working correctly. But your point there and what you just said then is really more about if your digestion's not working properly, then you're going to have inflammation in your digestive tract. And that inflammation contributes to overall body inflammation.
Everywhere, because 60 to 70% of your immune system is in your gut. So if you've got inflammation down there, you're going to have inflammation everywhere else, and you're not going to get better. So I would really start looking at that. That's why so many times when I'm on Facebook and I watch people, they'll write, oh, I got shoulder pain, I've got chronic knee pain. What should I do? My first question is I don't just throw products at them right away. I want to find out what caused it. Do you have trouble everywhere else? I was just talking to somebody today who wants to have stem cells for her father. And instead of just referring him to a stem cell clinic, I started asking those same questions. Does he have problems anywhere else? And it turns out that he does. So we're actually going to go after that first before we start looking at the stem cells.
And that's holistic medicine.
But you have to do that, because otherwise what's going to happen is you're going to be throwing darts at the dartboard, and you might even be hitting the bullseye, but it's not going to fix the problem.
Yeah, I mean, but what you just said then is so few doctors will actually even ask that question. They're not, I mean, in fairness, like a GP's there to treat, pain. It's there for, if there's an illness. It's not really looking at prevention and holistic. You'd need more integrated approach.
That's right. And here in the States, and I don't know what it's like down there in Australia, but here in the States, the GPs and the primary care, the gatekeepers, I guess, into the other parts of the system, they're so busy, and the hospitals are putting quotas on them that they really don't have time to spend that kind of time with their patient, asking them the right questions.
Yeah, that's true. They've got a lot of patients to get through.
There's a lot of sick people out there. We have a shortage right now. I just saw something on the news the other day. We have a shortage of physicians. So
Kurt, why don't you share a bit of your story about, because what a comeback you've had. You've gone from being told you'd never walk again to, well, you did a marathon.
Yeah. Well, I didn't do the full marathon. I just did a 5K. But, still, my doctors were like, they said, there's no way. Well, actually, after I did my stem cell injection, my doctor told me, he said, don't do that marathon and don't do that 5K. And I was like, well, I'm already scheduled. I already paid the $30. I'm going to do it. Because I'm cheap. I'm not going to spend the money and not do it. But bottom line is, yeah, folks, for those of you who don't know, 11 years ago, actually 12 years ago now, 12 years ago, I was riding my Harley in August, and somebody ran a stop sign hit me at about 65 miles an hour. Next thing I know, I'm waking up from a coma, and they're telling me, the doctors are telling me that the only way that I'll ever walk again is if they cut my leg off. They said without a prosthetic, I'd never walk. And they put my leg together. I always say, like, they put my leg together like Humpty Dumpty. They put all the little pieces together. They wired it. They, screwed it together and put my right leg together. It was smashed from my big toe all the way up to my hip. My leg was shattered into over 1 million pieces. And they were able to put that back together because I refused to let them amputate it. And I spent the next 2 years really in and out of a wheelchair, in and out of using crutches and a cane. I taught myself how to walk again. I did my own rehab, and I'm just...
That would have been painful.
Yeah, it sucked. I mean, it really did. I was taking painkillers all the time, and they had me on hydrocodone, they had me on Darvocet, they had me on Percocet. I was taking all of them.
How did you in your mind get to the point where you go, I'm in this place now, but I'm going to keep going, and even though it hurts to move, I'm going to keep moving and I'm going to push through it to the point where my end goal is that I'm going to be walking and I'm going to be okay? Like,
I think,
how do you...
Yeah, good question. I think when I think back on that, I think the main thing was I was tired of sitting in my house doing nothing.
Mm.
I couldn't go out and be active. I couldn't enjoy life. I couldn't do anything. I just sat here in the house. My kids would go, that was back when my kids were still in high school, and they'd go to school in the morning, they'd come back and they'd say, Dad, you haven't moved.
So what I'm hearing is it's like the pain of not doing it is greater than doing it. So even though it's going to hurt a bit to move, to not do that means that you're going to have no life at all, and there's no hope because, of course, if you don't actually make an effort, there's going to be no chance of recovery. And
right.
So you push yourself. You literally have to push yourself and keep going and have that like persistence and just keep going for it. But you must have had that goal in your mind, I guess. You had a vision of where you wanted to be.
Yeah. Well, I had a vision where I wanted to be, and I had all these things that I wanted to do in life. I mean, heck, when I got in a wreck, I was 45 years old. Who wants to be crippled up for the next 60 years of their life? I mean, holy cow.
Yeah, that's not a good situation to be in. I mean, that's just a great story though, Kurt, because it's inspirational, particularly when doctors are telling you, no, it's sort of over for you. You're never going to be able to walk again. And that's why it's really important not to take on board other people's limitations, perceptions, and beliefs about you and your health. You know, a doctor or a family member or, your mother or your brother can be very quick to tell you what you will or won't be able to do with your health. And, the question is, do you take that on board or do you dismiss it and say, no, this is my life, my body, and I'm going to make the decisions for myself? I don't know, I just feel that's a really important thing because like in your instance, it was the doctors telling you that it couldn't be done. But, for other people might have some type of situation going on where they may have a family member telling them, and actually it may be keeping them sick in a way that they're not able to move.
That's right. And I think a lot of people, they like to have something that they can blame everything on. Mm-hmm. Their lack of being able to do this. Well, it's because of my motorcycle wreck. Lack of being able to do that. It's because of my motorcycle wreck. Oh, you didn't get that done. That was really where I was at. I mean, I had those family members tell me the same thing.
Did you?
Oh yeah. They for the first 2 years, all I heard was maybe you should get your leg taken off. I heard that over and over, not just from my doctors. My physical therapist that I was using at the time really wasn't doing that much for me. He just wasn't giving me any real progress. And that's why I decided to develop my own program. I decided that I was going to do it on my own.
Right. And so the program's made up of lots of goals, I imagine. In that video that we just watched, that young boy was sharing about how he overcame his, pain or managing his pain. And that was, he said that he had to set goals, continually have that goal setting. Otherwise, there was no point. He said he wouldn't get up. So imagine with your program, you would have been able to set your own goals. Yeah. And that would have helped you a lot.
And we talk about, working through the pain. Just 2 years ago, I'd go for a walk. I'd take my dog for a walk. And I was trying to prepare myself because I want to eventually do a full marathon.
Wow.
I want to do the full 26 miles.
Do you?
And I do. Before I die, I'm going to do a marathon. So I know that I have to gradually build up that. I can't just one day, well, I'm going to do the marathon. I have to build it up. And I would start going for walks out here on the road out to the apple orchard. I'd go out to kind of the park down here by my house, and I would make it not even a half a block, and I'd have to sit down on the side of the road. I'd have to lay on my back on the side of the road because the pain was so bad. I'd be drenched in sweat. That's how bad my pain was.
Oh no. Yeah.
Then I would take, and I'd after the pain had subsided a little bit, I'd walk a little bit further. I'd have to sit down at the side of the road. I'd have to lay down on the street, and I would do that over and over. But I would make it the full 5K. I did the full 5K because that was my goal, is that I was going to start out doing a 5K. So I would do the full 5K, but about every half block I had to sit down. I had to take a break.
And how often were you doing that? What, daily?
Every day.
Wow.
Every day.
And do you, wow, that's amazing. And because that actually seems like a long way, particularly it's a long way just normally if you're feeling good. It's a massive long way if you're in chronic, like acute pain. I mean, do you think that if you hadn't have done that, that you wouldn't be where you are now?
Oh, I'd never be where I am now. No. I mean, and there was days, honestly, Katie, there was days that by the time I got back to my house, I could be, and I'm pointing, I know you can't see my house, but half a block away, I'd make it to the half a block away where I turn down the street that comes to my house, and I'd get to that, and I'd just be going, I can't make it. I'd be dragging my right leg. I mean, it literally would be dragging, and I'd be hobbling along on one foot trying to get home. But I did it. And now I can, last year I did the full 5K in less than an hour.
Wow, that's fantastic.
I improved from 2017 to 2018, I improved the 5K by 20 minutes. And I'm going to do even better this year.
Good for you. Wow. So what would be like what are your key takeaways from your experience that you could share with others? And I guess everyone's situation's different, so you can't compare. And, you know, sometimes like I hear your story, I've obviously got my own stories, but I hear yours and I think, oh, well, that's nothing compared to, you know, my issues, like nothing compared to what you went through. So it's not even worth mentioning. But, you know, people, myself included, shouldn't do that. You shouldn't downplay your own problems because your problem's unique to you and your challenges, you know, are unique to yourself, and they're all, you know, valid, and they all require attention and effort. And yeah, it's important that you do what you can do and take away from your message what message, the things that you're sharing that could then motivate them to make the change or at least keep going.
Yeah, I think you know, the most important thing is that people need to have this thought in their mind: whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah.
I remember back when I was in high school, I broke my lower back playing high school football. Mm-hmm. I mean, there was days that I would wake up in the morning when I was in college, my back would hurt so bad that I'd literally have to take my leg and I'd have to scoot it off the bed just to get the feeling back in my leg. Mm-hmm. And I look at that now and I sometimes wonder, was that, and this might sound crazy, but was that God's way of preparing me for a future injury, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I worked through that too.
It's like the challenges make you stronger. Like you're in for a rude shock if everything in your life is hunky-dory and it's been cruisy and nothing's gone wrong, and then all of a sudden a massive catastrophe hits. Like your coping skills would be quite low compared to having kind of built up to that in your example where you had previous injury, so you weren't completely foreign to the idea of what it takes to get from a really chronic state to feeling better. Obviously the motorcycle accident is extreme, but right. Like, yeah, it's like, you know, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and kind of a way I don't really like that saying because it sounds a bit brutal, but it's actually true, isn't it?
It really is. And so you prepare yourself, and it's not just with physical injuries too. I think sometimes it's stress. right? We have to be hit with stress every day in order to make us so we're prepared for the next day. They actually say if we didn't have any stress in our lives, we'd be dead in a couple of days.
Yeah, because your body responds and then grows and gets stronger.
And it makes us stronger. You take a look at, it's called Wolff's Law. Wolff's Law says that if I go down to my gym and I lift heavy weights and I strain this muscle, the muscle is going to respond by getting stronger. The joint where the muscle attaches, where it attaches here, it actually strains that as well.
Yes.
And what's going to happen is now it's going to make the bone stronger. So if somebody's suffering from osteoporosis, one of the best ways to help somebody with osteoporosis is to make them do exercise, weightlifting type exercises. And that's what all the new studies are saying now. April 2 years ago, when I was at the anti-aging conference in Orlando, Florida, that's what the doctors were talking about. Is we need to keep working our muscles in order to keep our brain functioning, and it actually helped prevent dementia.
I see it as all one and the same. The strength that you developed through your accident is mental strength as well, is coping ability for mental and emotional issues as well as the physical.
Plus, I get to do all the things I like to do now. I'm back out hunting. I get to go for walks. I'm down doing my exercise here. And some days it's not easy. Some days I still have some days where it gets bad. But I look at all these other people. I meet a lot of people who are in a lot worse shape than I am.
It's good being grateful, isn't it? And having that gratitude and appreciation then also will bring more of that. So all the good stuff that happens. So, you know, finishing off your day or even having many moments throughout your day of reflecting and being grateful for what you do have instead of feeling sorry for yourself. I think that would have been a key thing too in getting through your situation, and would be for anyone really.
And always remember this, you know, Katie, that if I take and I jam something underneath your fingernail, it's not a serious health problem, is it?
No, but it could be chronically painful.
Oh, it hurt. It hurt like hell, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, if I jam this pencil underneath your fingernail, it would hurt.
Yeah.
But it's not going to kill you. So we have to think about it that sometimes the most painful situations really aren't all that serious. And sometimes some of the most serious situations don't cause pain.
Yeah, interesting. I think that wraps us up for the half hour.
Is that the half hour already? Holy cow.
Oh, Renee was asking what was my story. Oh, I have to share it another time. Yeah, I can't. Actually, listening to Kurt's story, Renee, then it was making me tear up. I was almost about to start crying on the call. So, yes. Yeah. There you go. So anyway, hopefully for those of you watching live, or if you're watching the recording, you found some inspiration from this webinar, maybe some motivation to make some changes in your life that could make you feel happier and help you reach the goals that you want to achieve. And you know, if you do suffer from pain, definitely seek, you know, professional advice, you know, your doctor, physiotherapist, a good chiropractor to help you through. Yeah.
And don't be afraid to reach out to people and just talk about it. Sometimes just talking about your situation helps out. I remember when I was going through mine, man, I look back at it now, I had a lot of depression going on and I just refused to admit it.
Oh yeah, definitely and we didn't even get to touch on that. We talked about that previously, but that, you know, lack of exercise, and when you can't move because you're in pain, that then has a flow-on effect to cause the depression.
I think that would be a great topic next week. Why don't we talk about, you know, kind of anxiety and depression and how they affect fitness and weight.
Okay, great. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, that's the topic for next week, everyone.
All right. Thanks for joining us today. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Make a comment below because Dr. Kurt is giving away a free product, and you might be the lucky winner.
You might be. All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.